afternoon, or morning, or wherever it is that you are in the world. Thought I'd touch base again. The last time I spoke to you was to wish you a happy Christmas, and so now it's a happy New Year. In fact, since I wish you a happy Christmas, I've been on the road totally, and I only just arrived back off the plane last night. You'll be pleased to hear that I was restrained from wishing you a happy New Year at midnight on New Year's itself. I'd had rather too many glasses of wine, so it was probably wise to wait until I was a bit more sober. But anyway, happy New Year, everyone. I hope you had a fantastic time. I know many of you were at our various Karma parties, which were superb. I myself was in Bali, and the team there did a magnificent job. And it's worth at this stage saying thank you to all our team around the world that put these events and parties on, because clearly whilst we and many of us enjoy holiday times, that's our staff's busiest time, and it's not a holiday, they have to work very hard. The Bali one was the first proper one since COVID, as were many. Spectacular, went off a treat, and I know that everyone went there and enjoyed it, and I know all our other resorts did a fantastic job and people enjoyed them as well. So thank you very much to everyone within our teams, and I hope you all had a great New Year. Some other news on Bali. Whilst we're talking about Bali, we've made the decision to invest quite a lot of money and totally revamp some of the older resorts and bring them up to scratch. It's amazing how quickly things date, and what was very nice 10 years ago now looks a bit old. And so expect to see all across our Bali resorts a refurb program. We'll be using Tina Kirshner, who we use in many of our projects, to look at all of them and bring them up to speed. Also in Bali, we have started plans for our newest resort outside Chandidasa. Again, you may or may not be aware, but we acquired a very nice piece of land right by the sea there. And we're going to be building a brand new resort in Chandidasa, and that'll commence quite soon and probably be up and running in about 3 years. And we also looked at all our resorts there and made a decision to shut Ubud at the moment. It's had very low occupancy. A lot of our members were saying that they'd been there a few times and they weren't particularly enthused about it. So what we're doing is we're going to try and find another resort up in the hills, maybe in Ubud or maybe in a few other beautiful locations that we found that still provide that mountain experience that Ubud did, because maybe Ubud's getting a bit overcrowded now. The traffic's a nightmare. It takes forever to get to. So again, expect some news on that, but we're doing quite a lot in Bali. And also down on Jimbaran, we will be fully reopening Karma Jimbaran, and again, investing money in the food and beverage operation, in the general maintenance. There's been several resorts that due to COVID were slightly slower to come back online, partly because the number of Australians who came to Bali was lighter than we hoped for, primarily driven by the rapacious prices that airlines were charging. But the prices now seem to be coming down. More and more Australians are coming. So expect to see a lot happening in Bali, and all our resorts going up quite a notch. After that, I travelled down to Australia and spent some wonderful time down there. I'll be going to Oz quite a lot over the next few months, and as you know, high on my agenda is pushing forward with the Margaret River piece of land, and so again expect to keep news on that, and I'm very excited about lots of things in Australia. I then bounced up to Singapore, where we did our we either call it our end of year meeting or our beginning of the year meeting, where we looked at budgets and cash flows and all sorts of stuff. And I do enjoy living in Singapore. I've lived there for many years, and I caught up on much good Chinese and chili crabs and what have you. And then I went up to Thailand. In Thailand, two bits of news that I think will interest you. One is, again, Boat Lagoon is going to fully open, and we are going to put money into the units themselves and renovate them and do them up, and they need a bit of a spruce up and a tidy up. But again, that was one of the COVID hangover ones, I would say, that we didn't attend to immediately because the demand wasn't quite there. But we now see the demand, and so that'll go up a notch and become live again. And what we're also doing, and I think this will be a very, very, very nice experience, is we're looking for a resort on the other side of Phang Nga Bay. If you know that part of the world, you know you've got Phuket on one side, and on the other side you've got Krabi and a beautiful coastline. And in the middle you've got the islands that are called the James Bond Islands, with the big spiky things, and they've used them in lots of movies over the years. And the great thing is that from Boat Lagoon to Krabi by speedboat is only about an hour and 20 minutes. So our plan is to initially lease a resort near Krabi, but buy land and build, because we want to be up and running pretty swiftly, and really do a 2-center holiday. So people can fly in, they can spend a night in Boat Lagoon or 2 nights or whatever they want, and we have a daily speedboat service that goes across Phang Nga Bay through the James Bond Islands, stopping on the way for a beach or a snorkel or a swim or Pepsi Cola or whatever. about an hour and a half later arriving and checking in and then spending your holiday there and then doing the same in reverse. So you get a combination of Phuket, which is busy and buzzy and very, very, very busy, I would have to say, incredibly busy at the moment, and what I would call old Thailand, which is the Krabi coast, which is less developed, where you can sit on the beach and have the coconut curry and you can have the Singer beer and really enjoy Thailand for that tranquility. And I think the combination of the two is exciting. And I did that trip to check it all out. So expect to see more news on that quite soon. I then, on my whirlwind tour, bounced down to Sri Lanka. And I'm very pleased to say that we have done a joint venture with an existing hotelier who has 9 properties in Sri Lanka. And over the next few months, we'll be finessing the deal and we will be opening up in Sri Lanka. As you may know, we own land there in Hikkaduwa. And this existing company has 9 properties, which are beautiful properties all over the country. Some are on the beach and some are in the heritage sites inland near Kandy. Sri Lanka is an amazing place. Some of you have been and maybe many of you haven't. It's had problems, it's had wars, it's had economic problems recently, but I'm convinced that it'll come out of that. I'm convinced it's going to be a very prime tourist destination. It's easy to get to. It's 2 hours from Mumbai. It has many direct flights all over the world. To Australia, there's direct. To England, there's direct. The people are wonderful. The food is great. In fact, we signed the deal at a restaurant which is very famous called the Ministry of Crab. They have some of the best crab in the world, an amazing crab curry. And so I think that's going to be pretty exciting. So again, watch that space. And then I finished off my, I wouldn't say whirlwind tour, it was a 1-month tour, but I finished off my tour in Goa. And I went there for various reasons, mostly because I love it, of course. But we also held our full board meeting there, our annual full board meeting, for a number of reasons. It's our 30th anniversary since we began this year. That's where it all began. And so I really felt it was important to do the meeting where it all began. We went to the very same beach shack where those 30 years ago we signed the first contracts and launched into the operation. If you'd have told me we would be 10% of what we are, I would have said you were a Looney Tune in those days. But it was great to go back. It's still the same beach shacks. The beach is remarkable and wonderful. And it was also to pay homage to our amazing team there. I mean, I have been in this business nearly 40 years. I mean, 30 years with my own company and 10 years before. And I've never seen an operation that runs as well as Goa. All departments working together, being so positive and enthusiastic, members being so happy, truly is wonderful. Just our sales team there, and forgive me for mentioning the word sales, but they created 670 new members just in the month of December alone in Goa. So we wanted to really say thank you for working so hard. And what I also love about going to all my resorts, but particularly going to Goa, well, not particularly, it's the same everywhere, but I do like about going to Goa is meeting members, because there are so many members there. I like to walk around and see them by the pool or have a drink at the bar or share something to eat. And not only are they so positive and enthusiastic, they're very proactive. I mean, I think one of the great things about our members is that for many of you that are watching this, you really feel part of the team. And I think, as I said in my speech there, if there's one positive about COVID, I think it reinforced that more, that we are on the same side. We're creating experiences for members, and members are enjoying them, and members are giving great feedback and helping us to continue to go forward. And it's not an us and them, which it can be in businesses or sometimes in hospitality. It really is an us, and we are all on the same boat. And on that, many owners have asked if they can refer new members, and you're about to see a referral program which we're going to launch, where we're going to allow members to essentially be our ambassadors, because the best people that can tell about our products out there in the world are existing members who can say the good things and the bad things, and hopefully the good things outweigh the bad things. Therefore, it's pretty good. So I'm really going to enlist all of you to get us some new members as we go forward into the new phase of the group. Okay, and so what I'm also doing in Goa is we are expanding. We've almost finished renovating Hati Mahal, and I think many of you have seen the beautiful new units, how nice they are and how great they present themselves. We're going to do the same now at Royal Benlin Beach Club, which has been shut since COVID. That's now going to be not only refurb, but pretty much totally redone. The outside skeleton will stay the same because of various coding and planning. We don't want to change the way it looks on the outside, but inside it'll be totally different. Different configuration, different types of rooms, walls will come down, electrics will change, and totally upgraded and made brand new. So that'll be launching very soon. And right next to that, and at the same time as us redoing Benelin, is we have a brand new development we're about to launch. We have a piece of land which we've spent, oh God, I don't know how many years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, however much time, but it was a Christmas present to me that we finally got the every approval we need to start building. We have the plans already, and that'll be our first real estate development in Goa. We're going to have about 35 apartments there, and we are going to sell them on a freehold real estate basis. So that'll be quite exciting as well. I think we've had much requests over the years for can we actually buy a Karma apartment in Goa, and this will be our first one. And so that'll launch, I think it's April the 2nd we're launching, but quite soon. So again, see how that goes. And assuming that real estate works, expect to see lots dotting out around India at our various resorts. And indeed, Indian expansion. I mean, we love expanding in India. We set ourselves a target of 2 new resorts a year, and we easily achieve that. So I'm not sure where the new ones will be. We have a short list of great locations, but quite a few will pop up. So I'm back for a few days, well, 2 days before I go to Monaco. And now I will be doing a bit of tour of Europe. I like to, at the beginning of the year, really go to many places and make sure everything's okay and what can I do to help move things along or provide solutions. Spain is on track. As you know, we're building in Andalusia. That will be open middle of June. We're doing our annual sales meeting there 2 weeks before, so they'll have a chance to repaint it after our senior management team have enjoyed the facilities. And if you're keen to go to Spain, please book through the various channels that are available to you. It's a great place. It's just behind Marbella. It's in the hills. You're close to Ronda, which is amazing. Fantastic attractions around there. Beautiful area. I lived in Spain many years, as you know, so I'm slightly biased, but it is a beautiful area. I then go to Italy. In Italy, we have some new units, and again, we're renovating them to a high standard. As is with all our resorts, we really are bringing them up to speed, which we are doing in Bavaria. We've almost finished that now. And the next stage there will be to take the 4th floor, which essentially is the roof area, and create new units there. At the moment, it's staff accommodation, and they have some of the best views in the planet because they're views right out over the Alps and down over the lake. So that'll be a new project that we'll be doing. And finally, I'll be going around our English resorts, and we're hoping to add one in the West Country. I was hoping to tell you today. I can't because I'm off to New York in 10 days to hopefully finalise the deal, but for a bizarre reason why it's New York for something in the West Country. But I think you'll like that when I do get that one done as well. So expect to hear more on that. So we're busy. I love going around the resorts, meeting people. I like meeting owners. I like meeting members of staff. I like seeing how we can ever increasingly push forward with what we're doing. And I hope I'll see you at one of our resorts or areas quite soon. So we need to toast. We need a New Year's toast. What am I going to toast with? Well, I think in homage of our Spanish resort, I think a Roda 1, which comes from Rioja. I think most of you know I like Rioja a lot. I did a studio, as you know, I teach at Yale, and we did a project based on Rioja where we took the students there and we looked at the economic impacts of various factors, which I won't bore you with, and wine production and all sorts of things. And it gave me an amazing taste for Rioja. Rioja is Tempranillo, primarily for people in Australia that know temp. It is very strict the way it's made. It's very high quality. I went through a phase a number of years ago where it was perceived as being a very cheap wine because they didn't really promote it. But now it's the reverse. It's, for me, the finest red, which you'll find in Spain. And we'll definitely, at our resort in Spain, we have a bodega, which is somehow a combination of a wine cellar and a wine bar. Expect to see it rammed full of Rioja, and particularly Roda Uno, one of my favorite. So, Happy New Year. We launch into 2023. The world will throw all sorts of strange things at all of us. We know that. It's never easy. We all kind of thrive on change and chaos, I think, whether a person within our group or a group. Whatever it shows at us, we're going to have a fantastic year. I look forward to seeing you. Cheers. Salud!